As I said, I was going to break down a couple pieces like that twoofy con job, you know, and Betty Washam out there. That's what it is. Of course, you know, rumpa-dum-dum fucking batshit K Lazy. At least a couple comments out there. Selective memory, BW, sadly go with God, keep my name in your mouth, blah, 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 who gives a shot. Then she said ABC is dangerous. Neil Denise, good for you. If you ever wish to speak to me, I'll be glad to have a conversation. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's get this rolling.
Please.
Turn on to 11, Juice.
People who make factual accusations. He doesn't say, well, I think Betty did this or that. He says, you did this and you and you. He's trying to play like he's a prosecuting attorney.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to answer that.
I don't care who he's talking about. He's not going to do that in my channel. I almost blocked him out the last time he was in. And then this time I said, well, maybe, I don't know. So now, okay, he's not.
Denise, I just want my life back. I just want my life back. I want the videos to go down of calling me a predator. I've literally went on my Meet Me, right? And a guy that lives close to me looked me up, found Dank's videos, and then told me I needed a bullet in my head.
What?
That scares the living fuck out of me.
That's why I block people like him. He doesn't need to be using my channel.
See, the shit that comes out of Dank's mouth is all fucking bullshit and lies. I mean, look what he rolls with. Dank tries to sit there and say he's going to be the next predator post with Alex and shit like that. I mean, Dank's going to say, hey, he's trying to meet your 14-year-old boy over the internet. Yeah, he's trying to hook up with a 13-year-old for sex. I'm like, shut up, Dank. If you want to do something like, why don't you go find the fucking missing kids in California? Oh, that's right. You can't get out your own pass.
I did notice that you definitely are a lot more savvy than most people, including myself, thought you were. And I noticed your channel changed. I noticed that some of the stuff
this is getting out of hand.
Going on at the time.
Now there are two of them.
A lot of channels that were feeding off the victims that were coming out of the same place. A lot of them were kind of being fed into YouTube. Aaron V. Cox is one of the people who does the feeding, but he's not really that much into the victims as he is into some much more serious channels, which is why he's in trouble down here.
Okay, let me explain this to him one more time. This was 3 years prior. All right, this was 3 years prior. All right, this was 3 years prior that I had my phone taken to the store, and they were like, "Are you wanted?" Because the FBI and the CIA was on my phone after having a conversation.
They must be crying.
Well, this is the thing, okay? This is what happened. That was a very painful incident for you, but the number of incidences like that have matched up with something else that's been going on behind the scenes. And I think I can talk about that. When we realized, and with the present White House situation here in the States, it's even worse, but when we realized that local police were they were reluctant to take complaints that were going to require them to use federal, to involve the feds because of protected gangs.
Correct.
Boston are protected. They're federally protected because of.
That turn out because you can barely hear twoofy con job.
So that's.
But Betty comes in loud and clear.
I realized, well, there is a strategy. I started to study up on the whole thing of where the authority lies between the sheriff and the local police and the state police. So first you study where you are, where the authority lies, where the person who's bugging you is, where the authority lies. And now Aaron Cox was involved with some people that did something here in Corpus. And because I had to show them a video. It was very scary. And I talked to him on the phone. I said, do you have a place I can send this link to? Because I'm looking at this. And I'm going to leave it up. But it's violent. It's talking about violence to the city. And I know enough about the person to be scared. And it was not Aaron. It was one of his Coast Guard buddies. And
Now, see, I don't know who this Aaron guy is. I've heard through the grapevine, but I don't know him.
Damn, son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Yeah, I don't know him.
you probably know one of his socks. He has a million. But anyway, that's who Malibu is taking her information from. So to get back to what happened with this. So this was in 2019, right? So I'm on the phone. I said, look, I can just send you the link because you have to see it and let me explain to you why it's such a concern. But you're going to see yourself it's a concern when you just see what they're talking about doing.
Mm-hmm.
And the person said, well, exactly what I described it. She says, well, where are you? Because they said they were going to do something near my house. I said, I live in North Beach on the harbor.
Right.
And she says, well, tell you what, she says, don't go anywhere. We're coming to you. And they sent the crew up. The 2 cops came in, Port Authority. And they looked at it, and then all of a sudden, you know, one of them says, just a minute, one of them is looking at the phone, one of them's talking to me, and then all of a sudden a bunch more drive up. And they go outside, and they took my phone. I didn't have this thing here. I had this phone. And they took the phones, and they looked at them, and you're gonna laugh about this stuff. If you don't know this guy, you don't know what he does. He likes to make he's a disgusting guy who does locker rooms.
Why you always lying?
Talks to females, right?
Right.
There was a point where
why the fuck you lying?
Over this one stupid app that was putting big lips on everything. Remember that when everybody was doing that? So one of
No, I don't, but that's funny.
What the screen, right? And he's scrolling around, and all of a sudden, new notices come up. This obscene thumbnail with Aaron.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
You know Aaron V. Cox? And I'm like, you know him? Because how do you
This
know
is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
I had to explain everything. I said, that's just one of the channels I've been watching. What I do know about him is the first time I encountered him was in this other channel,
treason.
which is, I can't really get into because the FBI actually is looking at some of this. But that was my first encounter with him, was seeing him come up in some criminal conversation with someone I was already dealing with. So that, and all of these people, that's what happened. I started dealing with the first 2 people that came in with the picture of my daughter taken from her memorial page. One of them turns out to be an ex-cop who was fired for stalking people while on the job, using the job to dox and stalk. The other one is an Army vet who was kicked out for mental illness, who has been stalking people around North Texas, where he's originally from. And those
What is up with all this stalking? Why do people stalk? I don't understand.
People killing of my daughter. He was a student at UMass when she was a student at UMass, and her body was found at UMass. He didn't do it. But it was a gang killing because he is a member of a gang.
Oh, get the fuck out! Oh, yeah!
That I refer to.
Who here is this bad gang member? Who's part of the big militia gang? Just shut up! Oh my god!
A number of them are involved with a very well-known and I identified the one that was involved with my daughter's death. Everyone else that came in on the fringes, the question next is, are these people here because they think something's cool and they have no clue what's going on, or are they part of the gang? My only reason for being here for the past 3 or 4 years, actually, since 2017, when that first happened, has been, I'm going to take the gang down. I'm not going to take all of YouTube down. I'm not going to take the whole trailer park down. But I'm going to find one who are part of the gang, A.V. Cox.
Man, that's where twoofy con job. He's probably one of the bitches that said, oh, I got sprayed by chemical travel plane.
Somebody else.
Well, when she started harassing me because I would not give her money, which was over 4 years ago now, she was in all kinds of a gang. She had everybody on her side. Actually, that's how Dink came into the picture because she went and whined to him and said, "Oh, stalk Betty." That's how Lisa Lake came into the picture. "Oh, go stalk Betty." That's how
Yeah.
Neo came into the picture. "Oh, go stalk Betty." It was all
Right.
go stalk Betty.
That kind of stalking is called extortion, and that's another reason why.
Yeah, that he probably brought zero affinity in that shit. Did he met Taurus in that mix? Did he met OGM, Philomon, Dank in that mix? Kickstand.
Recognize the demand for money, followed up by
Glittery stalkers.
threats, stalking, whatever.
Yeah.
You put all the proof together, and then you say extortion. Well, what's upsetting this gang is that, and you know, there are people who do the extortion, asking for money and then following up with punishment just because they're stupid. They don't realize they're committing a crime. There are others
Right.
who know they know what they're doing.
Right.
By putting the language out there and explaining a few things, enough people started to figure it out. The other thing I explained that put me forever on the hate list, and I'm proud to be there, is you don't call the cops' emergency number and tell them to go arrest somebody because they just stopped.
Right.
You put together all the proof. You look through your local sheriff, state police, local police, city police, whatever. You look
Right.
through all of them to find the right person. You call up very calm and not while you're upset, go have a drink. When you calm down, make the call.
Yeah.
You say, I have a problem with what appears to be an internet gang. Do you have somebody who handles it? The dispatcher will already know what questions to ask to send you to the right detective.
But that's not really what mine does. Mine does this. We're going to take a claim and we'll put it down and we're done. Bye. Here's your claim number.
This is what I was doing. Because a lot of people just don't know anything about cops except you hit 911.
Yeah. No, I knew. I called them. I knew what to do.
Okay. Now the other thing that they started to realize doing, and when I wasn't the only one, that's when it started to work. When some other people started doing the same thing. Have enough of a conversation to suggest to the police, look, I know you can't really do anything about this. You've got more important things to look at. But can your department maybe talk to that State Department, because the FBI is blowing us out the window. They don't care. But
right.
if you talk to each other, you're going to find
incoming!
As and I remember when it happened, I did get some questions. I did get some callbacks from some departments in different places.
See, Big D's live right now. It's Coffee Chat. Looks like he's breaking down a little bit of Polystream.
Not because they
if he's breaking down the one last night he had, I might break that one down in a couple minutes.
Something.
Right.
Then we did start talking to each other, and they could see what people don't realize is the locals don't have to wait for the FBI. If the FBI is protecting a federal gang,
what you say?
Political gang,
what you say?
The locals can still talk to each other, and they can still say our two state police departments are going to work together on this.
Yes, they can do that. They can do that, especially if there's major harm. Like if they're saying like they want to run you over, like they have games to run you over. You know, if they're putting your mother's obituary out there and saying it's not your mother's obituary to taunt you, there is things you can do about that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the cops, they do it a lot on purpose to overwhelm the cops with calls. One member of this gang actually put out what everyone was calling a database.
What you say?
Put out doxing on about 20 different people in YouTube and said they were all on a suspect list and had to call a particular police department. And because she had the names and doxes of everyone in there, they actually did have to call to say, I don't belong in that, whatever's going on. Which means the police department...
Man, this is twoofy Khan's job. She was talking
Right.
about over a month ago. She said, "Oh, Sugar Sean's found that in that part of the game." Yeah.
Calling you because they're persecuted.
Yeah.
But guess what? The cops are not stupid. They know she did that.